Ever find yourself kind of looking over at the door staff at like a concert or club thinking, wonder what it really takes to do that?
Yeah, totally.
Easy to just assume it's all, size and strength
Yeah.
looking imposing.
Right.
But today, we're doing a deep dive into the world of door supervisors, those folks. See what's really going on, the unexpected stuff they got to handle.
It's a job that honestly most people don't think twice about, but when you dig in, it's fascinating. You need authority, sure, but also like serious people skills. Think fast on your feet.
Not just bouncers,
Not
right?
even close.
So to guide us, we've got RoleCatcher, this awesome career platform. They've got this free career guide, door supervisor, and let me tell you, it's eye-opening.
Super comprehensive. They break it all down, what you do day to day, how you move up, even what skills are key.
Love it. Okay, so basics first. Door supervisor. We picture, what, ID checking at a club, maybe? What's the reality according to RoleCatcher?
Well, it's way more than just checking IDs. The guide really stresses that at its core, it's about everyone's safety, everyone feeling secure in that venue.
Oh, interesting.
And think about all the places that applies. Bars, restaurants, concerts, huge events even.
Right, right. So not just keeping the peace, but actually creating that safe vibe so people can enjoy themselves.
Exactly. Enforcing the rules, of course, like age limits, that's got to be done. But also managing the crowd, knowing what to do if something happens.
Yeah, like an emergency, something going wrong.
And yeah, sometimes it's dealing with, shall we say, less than cooperative individuals.
That's got to be tough, especially in those environments,
Yeah.
loud, crowded. The guide even mentions high levels of stress, which, yeah, I can only imagine.
Oh, for sure. It's nonstop. That's why they say you got to have that emotional resilience. Imagine, big group denied entry, maybe dress code, whatever. Suddenly it's your job to calm things down, and you got to think on your feet.
Way more than just muscle then. Problem solving, calming folks down, that kind of thing.
Huge part of it. The guide actually, it really emphasizes de-escalation, knowing how to talk to people, resolve conflict.
So that balance, right?
Yeah.
Your authority, but you got to have empathy too.
100%. It's a tough line to walk, but that's what makes a great door supervisor.
Okay, so the challenges, we've touched on those. But what about the good stuff? RoleCatcher, they list some pros, and some of them honestly surprised me.
Right. It's not all tense standoffs and noise. They highlight the pay's actually good.
Oh, yeah.
Often you can get overtime too, and the hours, they can be flexible. Good for like if you're not a 9 to 5 person or, like working nights anyway.
That IS appealing, gotta admit,
Mhm.
especially if you're just starting out or looking for something different career-wise. But long term, is there a future in this, or is it just like a side gig kind of thing?
No, you'd be surprised. RoleCatcher, they lay out this whole path how you can move up. You start entry level, then there's junior door supervisor, and eventually you can get to senior door supervisor.
Hold on. So it's not just a job, it's like a whole career track you can follow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this like climbing the ladder thing RoleCatcher talks about.
Yeah, so entry level, it's a lot of the basics. IDs, observing the crowd, making sure everyone is getting in, they're supposed to be there, that sort of thing.
Right.
But then you think you are the first line of defense, eyes and ears of the place.
Right, I get you.
Then junior door supervisor, maybe you're doing bag checks, helping out if something does kick off. Need to think fast under pressure, for sure.
Stakes are getting higher.
They are. And then, top of the heap, senior door supervisor. Now you're the one leading a whole team, thinking about risks, making sure everyone's trained up, got what they need. You're like the conductor of the whole security orchestra.
Love that analogy. It really gets across how it's not just about like being big and strong. It's leadership, thinking ahead, knowing all the safety stuff inside and out.
Exactly. And speaking of that safety stuff, the guide, they're big on the whole training and certification side of things. They talk about this SIA Door Supervisor license.
SIA.
Yeah. So Security Industry Authority, that's what it stands for. They're the ones, at least in the UK, making sure security folks are legit,
So you need that license to actually work as a door supervisor here.
Over there. Yep. It's a must. Which makes sense with all that responsibility.
For sure.
And it's not just that one license either. RoleCatcher, they're all about those extra certifications, first aid, how to handle conflict, even like courses for specific things, like how to spot security risks, or if you're working a nightclub versus like a festival, that kind of thing.
Wow, so much more to it than meets the eye. It's like you got to keep learning up your game all the time.
That's the thing. It's not static. And that's where RoleCatcher, they come in clutch again, all those resources they've got. Remember we mentioned all those practice interview questions?
Oh, yeah, right. Like thousands of them, right. And they use, what was it, AI to help you ace the interview. How does that even work, specifically for like a door supervisor gig?
So say you're going to interview at some big club, right? RoleCatcher's AI, it can actually go through the job ad, figure out what they really want, the skills that matter.
Clever.
Could be like handling huge crowds, diffusing situations, even if they use some specific security system, and then boom, it comes up with practice questions just for that, so you're ready to shine.
Like having a personal coach, but AI powered.
Totally. And it doesn't even stop there. Your CV, your cover letter, RoleCatcher helps with those too. Their AI, it's looked at tons of job ads. It knows what grabs attention, the right words, all that. So your application, it doesn't just blend in with all the others.
It's not enough to just have the skills. You got to know how to sell them too, especially these days, right?
Big time. And that's where RoleCatcher, that's what they give you, the tools, so you're not just applying blind. It's a real advantage.
Sounds invaluable, especially if you're serious about this line of work.
For sure. And the
Yeah.
best part, a lot of this, it's free on their platform. They really want people to find the right job. They're all about giving you the means to do it.
It's wild, isn't it, how tech is changing the whole job hunt thing. Before we got into this, Door Supervisor, it wouldn't have crossed my mind all that goes into it.
Right. People just don't see it.
Like it's a career, a whole path, but it kind of flies under the radar. And yet you got to be tough, smart, think fast.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure. Like we said, emotional intelligence is huge E here. You crack under pressure, it's not going to work.
And the de-escalation skills, that takes practice, knowing how to talk to people when they're not at their best.
Yep. But then on the flip side, good pay, hours that can work for you, and you can move up if you want it. Not too shabby.
Not at all. And I think what really struck me is, yeah, there's the whole safety side, but it's also about people having a good time.
Absolutely. Whether it's a night out, a concert, whatever, people want to relax, enjoy themselves. And that only happens if they feel safe, right?
Big time. You're almost like setting the stage for that, even if folks don't realize it.
Exactly. And as things get, more security conscious everywhere, that role, the door supervisor, it's only going to get more important.
Unsung heroes, kinda?
Kinda, yeah. Keeping things running smooth, but also keeping people safe. It's a lot.
So anyone listening, if you've ever been even a little curious about what goes on behind that velvet rope, I hope this gave you a taste. It's more than it looks, that's for sure.
And if you are interested, check out RoleCatcher. Seriously. They can help you figure out if it's the right fit, get you ready, all of it.
Awesome. Great resource. And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. Next time you see a door supervisor, just, take a second. Appreciate what they do. Because honestly, they're kind of guarding the good times for the rest of us.